go to its review. Bit later than planned. Wife went out shopping, then came back and talking to my daughter. So I couldn't even tell her I was going down the street to do a beer review. These things happen, don't they? So I had this sitting there a few months, and I thought, better get my arse and get it reviewed. So this is Amundsen Brewery. Last time I had one of them, I'm sure it was a pastry imperial stout that Craig Kent Beer Reviews actually sent over. So yeah, it's their Chuggernaut, which is quite apt really because I'm good at chugging. Hazy Session IPA. Yeah, magnifying glass. Don't really say interesting there. 4.7%. That's about the most interesting thing there, and it's Norwegian. All right, yeah. Yeah, just goes to show you, I ain't got a clue where stuff's comes from. Never did. You know, always learning. And if you're not always learning, what's the point in life? You've got to learn, haven't you? That's what life's all about. Good evening, Mr. Mersey Bears. 0.5% Kvass Bullman had last week. Oh, yeah. What do you reckon to it then? Because I know Bullman said it was different. So, we'll check into this, see how we go. Do you know I hate noises? I've got something on the outside of the shed, and when the wind blows, it makes this funny noise. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, and I can hear this like scratching. Dandelion and burdock. Oh, that sounds like my sort of beer. Then I do like a bit of dandelion and burdock. And I heard this scratching. I'm there, I'm listening, and then the more the scratching is, um, the more it's stressing the fuck out of me. I'm thinking it's a rat or mice. It's actually the rain dropping on something outside. Tell you what, sometimes your mind. Edging lawns. Best way to edge a lawn, get a half moon, get it nice and level, put string down. Depends if you've got a straight lawn. Not everyone has. But do it with a half moon. Get a cheap half moon. Don't go too expensive. Don't go buying the top brands because they're no bloody better. Cheap, good like Wilco's. Get a cheap half moon. Half moon, flick it in, and then afterwards, don't use edging shears. Get yourself a little strim, one of them little strimmers you can turn the head around and use that. Does a really neat job and a lot easier. I've got a cordless one that I use, battery powered basically, and it's bang on for doing edges. And in fact, it gets rid of the greenery disappears. So obviously, I do mine quite regular. The greenery disappears, but it leaves a nice edge on the lawn. It's all about, gardening's about doing it the easy way. It's not about doing it the hard way all the time. It's like digging your borders over. It used to be the thing years ago that used to dig your borders. No, 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 no. Chuck the stuff on the top and just gently fork it in. Next door's TV area that's loose. It's funny you should say that, Adam. Um, we get this noise from next door. Sometimes he's in, sometimes he's not in. No, he's not in. And it's like a ball dropping and rolling across the floor. And I'm like, bloody hell's going off there? What's he prattling about at? And that's what it sounds like. And this happens even when it's not windy. And even when he's not there, which is weird. And I even had a go at him one day. I said, what's with you in this fucking ball dropping? No, he don't have a dog. No. Lives on his own. Yeah. I even said to the builder he had him one day, I says, does he play ball upstairs or something? Because I keep hearing this ball rolling across the floor. Says, no, no. So God knows. Is the house haunted? Don't know. We don't hear it all the time. All of a sudden you'll hear it, and then you don't hear it for days and days, and then you hear it. And I know he's gone out because I see him going out to the pub, and I know he lives on his own. It's a strange one, it really is. So anyway, let's pour the beer out. Amundsen Brewery. I'm sure the last time I had one of these, it was a pastry stout. Haven't got a Scooby Doo where I've got it from, to be fair. Lots of carbonation going off in. I don't know if it shows up on the camera with the light. It looks a very light orangey pour on this. Good evening, Benjamin. Allegedly haunted. Well, my workplace last weekend, Cockliffe, they had a paranormal evening, and they had somebody round who does that sort of thing. And she was saying she's it's a 340-year-old hotel. So there's bound to be a few deaths along the way, bit of murders, bit of raping, and all that sort of stuff. Um, I mean, I was there the other morning. Right, nobody's there, and I'm sat down. I got there about 20 to 7. I was making I had a cup of coffee, and I'm there. Doors open, and I heard this shuffling, like someone's moving along. And I'm like, the fuck? There's nobody there. How the fucking hell can I hear someone shuffling along? And I'm there. And all of a sudden you think, right, there's no wind. So how am I hearing that? And I've got my ears out. I'm listening like that just to make sure. And I thought, no, I can't be hearing that. And then I heard it again. Oh, one too many sherbets the night before. No, no, no. What's that? Get a punch out of you in a podcast. Can't follow you, mate. Yeah, you have to let people know. Yeah. So, big pour on this. A good carbonation off it. I presume I got it from either Waitrose or Marks and Spencer. Don't think I've seen this in any of the other, and I presume I've had it a while as well. But I don't matter anyway for me. So it's a hazy, orangey looking pour with obviously a big bloody head on it. I've been battling ivy tonight, and oh my god, why people let ivy grow up their house or walls is beyond me. I've never had the stuff in my garden. It's absolutely evil. It ruins your fence panels, and oh, it's evil stuff. And I'm taking it off the wall, and this it's not been touched for years, and the bloody growth, um, absolutely evil stuff. It does beg belief that people put that stuff in their garden, you know. The garden at Kelham, I'm going to kill the bleeder off. I am. I'm going to get some proper decent weed killer and kill it off. That's my plan. Plan of attack. Got to do it, haven't you? Yeah, very sessionable, easy drinking from Amundsen from Norway, obviously. Um, yeah, I mean it's just a sessionable beer. I much prefer their Imperial Stars, if I'm being brutally honest. But yeah, goes down well. 4.7%. It's not going to harm anybody. Um, very subtle nose. Again, not much on the nose at all. It's easy drinking. Goes down the old well. Yeah, you can't fault it for what it is. I'll pour the rest in there. So, Easter's coming up. I'm at a brewery party this weekend. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to meet up with a few friends first, and then we're going to the brewery party, and God knows what's going to go off there. A few beers, I presume. A few freebies. And then maybe go to a couple of taps afterwards, as you do. And so, yeah, a good Sunday. Can't fault a decent Sunday before, you go boozing and all that. So, not a brewery I've had a lot from. Um, I only ever remember having an imperial stout from these, an imperial pastry stout, and it was a belting imperial pastry stout, nonetheless. Um, And as you can see, nice hazy pour. Don't think it's actually, I'm sure it's Waitrose where I got it from. Sure it is. Or Marks and Sparks. Can't see it being any of the other supermarkets. Not really a beer, a brand that you'd see in those supermarkets. Although I could have got it from somewhere. You never know. Sometimes, that's it's the only issue with buying beers is that you forget where you bloody bought them from. I try to remember where I bought every single beer, but in the grand scheme of things, you forget, don't you? And obviously, Easter's coming up. Looking forward to Easter. Nice. A few days off. I actually booked the Thursday and the Tuesday either side, but I'm going to unbook half a day of each of those days because I actually need to go in. It's a crippler when you're growing stuff at work because somebody's got to water the seedlings, otherwise they die. And I can't trust anybody else at work to do it because there's like weddings across both sides, and it is it's awkward, really bloody is awkward to to keep things going. And until May, until the frosts go, I've got to do these things until about the middle of May, when you don't get frost or don't get that many frosts. It's a case of having to keep watering, keeping them in under cover, certain plants especially. And I've got a lot of plants this year. I'm going big because I want to really push the boat out. That's what it's about, isn't it? So enjoying this. It's just a hazy sessionable beer, hazy session IPA. I suppose that for the masses, you've got to be bringing out those sort of beers. Robotic lawnmower next. I need an automated sprinkler. Definitely do. I didn't even the comments disappeared. Didn't even know there was anybody commenting. Good evening, Mr. Bramwell. Riffle. I've got that. I'm going to review that tomorrow night, to be fair. It's Marks and Spencer's. I thought it was Marks and Spencer's. Apologies for not being there for the comments. I didn't see anybody commenting, so I stopped looking. Robotic lawnmower, yeah. The robotic lawnmower won't be able to keep up with my size lawns. Yeah. I wish it could. Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? They put me out of a bleeding job though, so probably not a good thing. Yeah. And a robotic lawnmower can't stripe lawns. I've seen them actually. I've seen them in play at a place, and all of a sudden it's like a rat coming out of a hole. And all of a sudden this bloody mower comes out. It does about 5 minutes mowing, and then it's back in its little hole to get to charge up. Ever so strange to see. It's just fucking lazy gardening, in my opinion. Yeah, lazy bastards. I mean, I'm all for doing it the easy way. You know, there's there is always an easier way of doing gardening, but doing it right. But robotic lawnmowers, it just has piss. It's like strapping something on your bollocks, and yeah. Too much, too much. It's just too far. In any case, right, pour the rest in. Feels really strange doing an 11-hour shift on a Monday. Well, 11 and a quarter hours. And it's been a long day. Although, to be fair, the 2.25 hours in the Chinese garden tonight went really quick. Didn't fall off the ladder once, although I made out of it just to wind up my workmates. I don't know what's going on because there's if anybody's chatting, I can't even access the chat. Here we go. And no, yeah, that's better. So, yeah, quite nice, but it is a Monday after all. So, it looks a nice pour, to be fair. I can't remember when I bought this. I would assume it's probably out of date. No, no, it's 2nd of the 6th, 2022. Good evening, Mr. Hobhouse. I think it was anyway, because the bloody there we go. Live chat's playing up really bad tonight. A robot that can make stuff out of pallets. Yeah, yeah. I've put a kitchen garden together. I'm doing this a second kitchen garden at the other site now, and yeah, I'm on bed number 7 already, and I reckon there's gonna be about 30 beds by the time I'm done because it's quite a big area, and you know it's great to see because the area was not used for anything um, proper, basically just a dumping ground and a burning area, and I'm actually turning it into something a bit more decent. Bateman's victory, you know the Batemans. Oh, at least another minute, mate. Um, Yeah, I like Bateman's. And it's obviously a Lincolnshire brewery, which I didn't really realise until about last year. Didn't realise it was actually a local brewery. Planting rhubarb. Yeah, yeah, I've got rhubarb. So I've got rhubarb across both sites. Rhubarb loves wet conditions. So if you've got a really wet part of the garden, it'll thrive. This is the thing, Op House. You know, you can only do so much. Left field beer tomorrow. Oh, that's yo. Wet used coffee grounds, does it? Ooh, I have to speak to the people at work because we obviously at both sites we've got coffee grounds, or we bloody should have. Um, we don't recycle as much as I'd like to recycle. You know, it's good for the eco. I'm not an eco person. You know, I'm not an eco warrior, but it's nice to see stuff being recycled. Um, I mean, I've worked with some eco warriors. Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah, even acquired taste. But it's nice to see stuff being recycled. But yeah, coffee grounds. I mean, one at the Callum site where I was today, there was rhubarb there. They're already ready to be harvested. And if they harvest quite quickly and on a regular basis, they'll chuck out so many stems. And I mean, it might be the thing that I do a rhubarb wine. Good evening, Mr. Bolton. How are you? Yours grew crazy. Ooh. So what do you use the rhubarb for? Rhubarb crumble? Rhubarb and custard? Or rhubarb wine? Oh. Rhubarb and ginger wine. Now that is a good combo because it tastes like gin. Rhubarb and ginger wine is as close to like a low ABV gin as you'll get. It's stunning, stunning, stunning together. In fact, I took bottles into work and we sampled it at work, as you do. And yeah, even the ladies at work were impressed. Rhubarb and vanilla MP. Ooh. Little Critters. No, matey, I haven't. It is a brewery that I'm very interested in trying. I do see their adverts quite a bit. And I do like the Olympics. I do, you know. The price puts me off, obviously, because they're not the cheapest in the world. Obviously, because of the ABV. But it is nice to try an ABV from somewhere, an impy from somewhere else, rather. I put strawberries into the imperial into the. So it's an Amundsen Brewery, and it's from Marks and Spencers, and it's their Chuggernaut's Hazy Session IPA. So there we go, and it is very sessionable. It's 4.7%, so not very strong to be fair. But yeah, looks good morning, Sam. And it, you know, it's just an easygoing beer. Yeah. Hopefully they'll do. Hopefully they'll do something. Hopefully they'll be okay. I chose frozen strawberries in the end. I tossed it up. I had cherries in the trolley, and I thought, do I go cherry or do I go strawberry? And I thought, well, strawberries are already frozen, so that takes that out of the equation. And I thought, bugger it, I'll do the strawberry because I haven't done a strawberry imperial stout yet or anything strawberry in that way related. So, or barley wine even. So it'll be interesting. It's you live and learn, don't you? And I just hope it's drinkable afterwards and it don't turn to shit. Because if it turns to shit, I won't be happy. Yeah, 30 quid down the drain. And yeah, there's always that chance, isn't there? And you spend money. Oh, would you? Oh, bollocks. I know. Shark said that he'd have chopped them up in half first. Tomorrow night when I'm home early, cause I've done 11 and a quarter hours at work today, so I'm knackered tonight. But tomorrow night I might go and get the knife, chop the buggers up. Strawberry cornetto impy. Ooh. I think this will be. I think if this turns out as I'm hoping, it will be a beautiful strawberry Kentucky bourbon English barley wine. Yeah, yeah, getting there like bang the elephant with their bloody Lumiere, which is crazy. And their description of their beer is about 150 characters long. Couldn't even get the old bloody description in YouTube. Yeah, it was just ridiculously long. Um, but a stunning beer nonetheless. My beer of the year from last year. Be interesting to see if they can top that. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so, mate. I need to go upstairs and have a listen. To be fair, I open because I've got them upstairs in my. I've got a little cobby hole which I use for the fridge and my clothes. So my clothes are going to stink a bloody chili chocolate stout and strawberry barley wine. So yeah, I'll be getting my clothes out and I'll be thinking, fucking hell, he's got a whiff to them. And at some stage, I reckon I'm gonna have to get them bloody chilies out. Should do with the sugars. Yeah, well, it was only in on the third or fourth day of fermentation, so I presume that it'll carry on bubbling away for a few more days at least. Anyway, um, should be interesting. I don't mind trying stuff, and there's no, for me, I don't see no rules. I mean, I know you have to. There's sometimes you say use Camden tablets and all that when you're doing fruit stuff. Um, but yeah, it's interesting anyway. And as long as it tastes nice in the end, I don't really care. Yeah, I did wonder that, Bramo. I did wonder that because I've done ginger and rhubarb and I boiled it first and then added it to the brew. That to me was the better way of doing it. I've chucked pears in before and I didn't boil them and they didn't work at all. The pear wine was just woeful. Um, I drank it and it was taking the fucking skin off my mouth. pressure drop, pressure drop cheese, unbelievable. Is that a proper beer? Makes you wonder if they'll bring out a Stilton beer at some stage. That'd be a quirky thing, wouldn't it? A Stilton beer. Pressure drop cheese. Right, I thought you were taking the piss for a second. Oh, that's different. I thought Northern Monk were the ones with the quirky beers. Northern Monk are just ridiculous. Thank you, Jack, and good evening. It is a fucking joke, isn't it? Yeah. But in any case, yeah. A Stilton beer. Could you imagine Stilton beer? I mean, I like Stilton to be fair. 7.4% NEPA with mosaic and strata hops. I did add them, the Northern Monk. I reckon they've already done it. I do. I don't think they'll fuck about. I think they've already done it, and I can't remember that. I can't remember the actual brands they did. It was some brand. I did see it. It just stops to make the cheese. Good evening, Luke. Yeah, I did see them, and you know when Northern Monk do that April Fools, you know that they're not kidding. You know that they've already done it, and it's coming out. Uh, it'll be interesting. Clitoris beers, no matey, no. Clitoris beers, yeah. I got it then. I got it. Yeah. Sometimes it's the only problem with drinking beers. Your brain's frazzled at a certain moment in time, and you don't see things as quickly. We used to have some come on the channel. There used to be a couple of people come on, and they were going about OnlyFans, and I ain't got a clue what OnlyFans is. And I know now, obviously, because I've done some, as you call, some investigating. Yeah, but you know when you don't know what it is, pots, beef, and vegetable stock. Oh, it don't taste like cheese; it's just the name. Ah, right, yeah, yeah, beef and vegetable stock. And I read the background into that, and they're saying that was a thing years ago in ales where there was beef stock in ales. Yeah, a bit fucking weird in my opinion, but there you go. Yeah. Saying that though, on the Imperial Stout front, I'm thinking of, with the wife at least, um, taking an Imperial Stout at the house and yeah. Bless him. Craig's a sound like that, you know. A Bovril Imperial Stout. That'd be flipping lovely. I love Bovril. Not so sure I'd like it in a fucking Imperial Stout, mind you. Yeah. Get your meat in the Imperial Stout, yeah. Well played. Yeah. You've got to watch the comments at times because sometimes, you know, someone comments. It's like, oh my, can you say hello to Mike Hunt? And it's like, yeah, fuck off, Mike Hunt. Yeah, but and then Uke, yeah, his brother Uke Hunt. Yeah, Chris Packett. Yeah. Oh, black pudding mild. Ooh, yeah. I've seen it on YouTube where someone's rang up Asda and done the old Tesco's is cheaper, and that's just bloody hilarious. You know, that's somebody on the tunnel who's obviously a bit dim and not realizing what they're saying. Because to be fair, most of the time they write it down first, and it's like fuck off with you. Tesco's is cheaper. I've also seen the one where someone's rang up a Scottish pizza place and asked for liver and onions, and the bloke was so rude, and it was funny but rude, and yeah, it was a laugh. You can't fault them, can you? You know, it's all about having a laugh, and especially in this day and age. Yeah, I fucking hate that. Good evening, Mr. Slurpee. How are we tonight? Yeah, support checkouts. Do you know, even now when I walk into a supermarket, I hate it. Absolutely fucking hate it. You walk in, uh, we've got a red alert to the checkouts, and I'm like, fuck off with your red alert. Absolutely winds me up. And I always remember at Sainsbury's, a little twat coming out to me, and only a young twat. I'm like in my 40s at the time. Yeah, still in my 40s at the time. And this fucking 20-year-old comes out to me, and I'll have a look at that in a second. And he's like, oh, we need you down the tills. And do you know, he talked to me so abusive. And I'm like, do you know, in a minute, I'll take you outside and you'll fucking get abusive. Little twat. And I still hate him to this day. I seen him the other day in Sainsbury's, and I'm like holding myself to have a go at him, you know, because, you know, when someone's been a dickhead to you once, you just want to rip the head off, don't you? Yeah, shit down the throat. But that's not the way I really am. What was that about? Nailers. So Black Pudding Miles brewed by the old Nailers Brewery, Berry. Ah. Black pudding mild. I actually do like black pudding and white pudding. You know, when you go over to Northern Ireland, their breakfast absolutely amazing. Not good for your stomach, and they make you shit well as well, which is not a good thing sometimes because all of a sudden you're gagging for a poo and you're in the middle of nowhere and you're like, oh shit, where can I go? And yeah, it's not good. And yeah, I had an embarrassing moment, a truly embarrassing moment where I'm at my wife's cousin's and I needed to go. And I don't like going for poos in people's houses. Don't like it. And it don't feel right, you know. And I had to, I was there on the floor, kneeling down in agony. And he says, oh, he needs to go to the toilet. Oh, yeah, go upstairs. Went to the toilet and didn't have a fucking flush to wipe the toilet afterwards. And yeah, can't tell you what I used, but I'm sure I have in the past. But yeah, hopefully they'll never find out because they'll hate me. These things happen, don't they? And Leyden Brewery one. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, it's always sad. Leyden Brewery, back of the pub called Lauder. Yeah, it's sad when breweries go into it. We've had a couple of local breweries disappear during COVID. To a couple that just retired and gave up. Sadly, one that got killed on a motorbike, and I think a couple just gave up the ghost. So sadly, got to end it because I'm about 10 minutes over. Um, before I get a bollocking off the missus as well. Amundsen Brewery, Chuggernaut, which I think is a great name. And I don't mind doing a bit of chugging now and again, especially when no one's watching on camera or listening. Um, Hazy Orange Pour, got it from Marks and Spencer's. Thank you, Adam. 4.7%. I'm around tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm finishing at 3 o'clock tomorrow night. Mushroom Mild. Not seeing that one. Different. Is that real? Are you taking the mic? Sounds nicer. But anyway, yeah, 4.7%. Nice, easygoing beer. Bit of citrus on the nose. Mushroom porter. And it was awful. Was he a fun guy? Hey. Can't beat somebody who's funny. But yeah, it was okay. I mean, for me, a good 4.0 out of 5. I do prefer tasted like mud. Ugh, ugh. I had a beer on Saturday night when I was at a party. First beer of the night, one of my favourite beers of all time, on cask. Poured it out, took one sip, and it's like, oh fuck me, it's rancid. This has been in the cask too long. I sipped it, drank the whole lot, but only because I paid for it. And it was like, oh god, let the brewery know. I said to them, that beer is well off, and they're going to go and investigate mushroom ice creams. Jesus Christ. So yeah, for me, I think a good 4.0 out of 5. I think I might have already said it. But yeah, not bad from Amundsen Brewery. Amundsen Brewery. Thank you everyone for joining in tonight, and see you about 7:30 tomorrow. I will try to be on time this time. Wife's fault, coming in late. Cheers everyone, and thank you for joining in.